Welcome everyone to my channel. My name is Jacob and I've been an entrepreneur here for a little bit less than a year. I'm just showcasing my journey as an entrepreneur along the way. And today in this video, this is a series about best personal brands on the internet and just in general. And if you want to see the very first video or the very first part of the series, it was last week with Grant Cardone. This week is with Alex Hormozi. And in the future, be whoever. So if you want someone that you really like and want me to review and see what they're actually doing to present to everyone, go ahead and leave a comment of their name down below and I'll look more into them. So yeah, let's dive into it. So Alex Hormozi, who is he? What does he do? So he was he's one of the biggest internet business sensations in the last couple of years. He blew up really, I think, late 2021, early 2022. I started listening to him in 2022, or early January, February. That's when I first started listening to him, and he's been really, really on it with his content and his experience and everything. I'm going to showcase what exactly he's doing right now. So a little bit more backstory on him. He quit his 9-to-5 like 10 years ago-ish, and then he pursued owning gyms. He learned how to sell and scale, sell memberships in the gym. And so he went to other gyms and, was an agency sort of, and scaled gyms for them. And then he turned it into a program, and then he made money off of that. And then he basically just turned that into his big business. So now what he does is he takes businesses doing $3 million in revenue and makes them do a lot more in revenue. That's all he's really doing. So he's making commission off that. So he's doing a lot. So, right here it says he has about a $50 million net worth, but I think he has a lot more. For his book is called $100 million Offers. So I think he's definitely crossed that threshold, but this is what I could find, at least on an exact scale, $50 million net worth. So take that with a grain of salt, but that's what I know. So what is he doing? Social media presence. What is he actually doing? So these are all his inputs. I don't know why this is. There we go. But Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, he has all these followers, like 1 million followers, 300K followers, 1 million followers, all this stuff. And then this is how much content he's putting out a week. So Instagram 15 a week, Twitter 14 a week, YouTube 1 video. He has some valuable shorts that he's putting out, 6 posts, 24 posts. So in total, he's putting about 60 to 100 posts a week, which is pretty ridiculous. So if you're new to content and social media, if you're doing 10 a week, you got to up those numbers. So hopefully this kind of give you some reference on what he's doing on a quantifiable level for social media. And then outside of social media, he's on podcasts, other interviews for other podcasts and other stuff like that. And then also he's writing books. His book is 99 cents too. It's cheap. So he's really doing this the right way. He's kind of targeting everyone, and he's getting his ideal audience that he wants to really group up. And so how's he doing this? It's not a one-man show, especially for him that has a lot of money. So what he did was he actually hired Caleb Rawlston, which is a former Gary Vee person. He used to be on the Gary Vee team, which Gary Vee's team, which this could be a whole video by itself. Gary Vee's team is 30 people. It's 30 people helping Gary Vee's content alone. And so what they did was they hired Caleb Rawlston because they're like, hey, this guy knows what he's doing. He's worked with Gary Vee. Let's work with him. So that's that. Now, he also has a bunch of unknown people. At least I couldn't find any other people really on social media that were working for him. But I do know there's at least 5 from what I heard as of fall 2022, and actively hiring other people. You can see it here if you really are interested. And the strategy is that they're using Alex's tweets as content sources, and of course they're collaborating with Alex and figuring out what else to post, but they're using Alex's tweets as content testers. If it's a good idea, they're going to test it through Twitter. And you can kind of see that there. A lot of this is bridged straight from Twitter. So if you want to see what they're going to be putting out on YouTube or Instagram, go to his Twitter. You'll see it there first. And now his personal branding strategy. He's talking about marketing, sales, and being an entrepreneur, which a lot of people do talk about that on the internet. But how's he good at it? Well, first of all, because he's talking about how I did it instead of how to do it. So he's talking from experience, first of all. The second big thing is that he's talking about psychological practices and philosophical meanings and all these other things that you could take into personal life, and he's talking about it. So right here is Socrates, which he references a lot, but another person he kind of talks about sometimes. Well, he doesn't really talk about, but he talks about what he says sometimes, which is kind of shocking to some of y'all. It's Karl Marx, which I know sounds shocking, and this could probably take a whole video of its own because it's pretty weird if you think about it. It's Alex Hormozi. He's he's the guy making money, you know. So I mean, that is pretty weird. So I can make a whole video of that on its own. So if you're interested in seeing that, definitely leave a comment, because I would love to talk about that, because it's pretty unique. And I mean, you know, a lot of people just reference to ideas and people and motivational quotes from like the last like decade or century. He's talking about people back in, you know, like ancient Greek, and, you know, like really like going far back, almost like at a, you know, historical like impact level, almost political. So it's pretty, I mean, it is political, I mean, Karl Marx. So I mean, it's pretty interesting, definitely worth interesting. So he's really bridging the gap in between everyone else by taking these strategies, taking these lessons, and talking to these people in the business world, and he's really selling to them. And he's doing all this, you know, he's making content with a team, and he's, you know, doing other stuff outside of social media, like books and everything, for books for cheap. He's doing all this stuff with a strategy in hand that's letting him talk about what he actually cares about. And I didn't even put it here, but he's talking about, he's a gym rat too. Like, he loves the gym. So that's another thing that people connect with him with. But he's doing all this stuff to connect with people, so one day they can partner with him. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, he's wanting people to partner. He's wanting businesses to partner with to do $3 million in revenue. Like, if they're doing $3 million in revenue, he wants to get them to, like, I don't know, let's just say $50 million in revenue. And let's just say, like, he just takes half that, or like less than half that. Like, he's making $15 million per every time he does that. And let's just say he has like a 50% commission rate. Like, that's a cool like $7 million per business he builds up that he's doing on his own. I mean, with his team and the company, of course. But I mean, if he does that like 10 times a year, at least that's $70 million a year. Like, the man's rolling, and he's doing this whole thing. Like, rather than him like sending emails, like, and just like all this like small stuff. Like, he's probably actually, I meant to put this here too. Like, he's speaking at events too. So yeah, I mean, like, he's really broadening his personal brand and doing everything. So yeah, I mean, if this doesn't show what a good personal brand is, I don't know what does. And yeah, so definitely take note of this. On that note, you know, hopefully this was a lot more informational than last week's video on Grant Cardone. I try to dive a little more deeper with Alex Hormozi. And, you know, if you want to see someone for me to talk about next, definitely leave a comment down below, and I'll do some research on them and try to showcase like who they are, what their brand is, what they do, everything like that. And we could really talk about, like, you know, some of the best personal brands. It doesn't have to be internet too. It could be like history too, like the personal branding behind, like, I don't know, Gandhi. Like, I don't know, but like something like that. Like, let's think about some things, and I could really showcase like what they did to grow. And, you know, maybe not all of it's directly applicable, but, you know, a lot of fundamentals and principles are applicable, and you can really take away some stuff. So hopefully this video helped, and hopefully you can stick around for the other series. So if you like this video, please leave a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, or other videos like my entrepreneurial journey series and stuff like that, please subscribe for that. Otherwise, I'll see you when I see you.